Hey, welcome to Bike Racers. This is show number 7. Also happens to be round number 7 of the Pirelli National Supersport Series powered by our good friends at Dodge. This episode is brought to you by R&D Motorsports down in Columbia City, Indiana. They're your Midwestern hub for both Suzuki and Yamaha, so check them out. They also sponsor good old number 27, Scotty Van Scoik. He's been doing really well this year. This weekend, you're going to see 600 Supersport action from both expert and amateurs, along with 750 Supersport action, just the experts. It's quite a melee coming your way. It's going to be 600 amateurs first, so stay tuned for that.
Grattan Raceway is where we're at. Welcome to the Pirelli National Supersport Series. The 600 Supersport amateurs are the first race of the day. Dave Smith, Eric Nocky up in the tower. Boy, it's a really good view of Nick Caligari taking off, running very strong into the first corner, Eric.
Yeah, once again we see Nick Caligari checking out here a little bit as we watch about 250 riders go through turn 1 at the same time right there. Chuck Bannon is trying hard to hold on to him, but it's Nick off and running.
Nick has definitely refined his riding style. This guy out of Cincinnati, Ohio. We've seen him many times before over the course of the year. This is one of the top guns in the amateur ranks. We look to him to elevate up into the expert classes next year.
That's right. There's 3 or 4 different teams right now that run, regional racing like we're doing here right now today that want him to ride their bikes for him next year. So he's got a couple choices to make, which is a nice position to be in.
Running in second place, JD, that's Jim DePueg on the number 20 bike, running in second. In third now, it's Rich Clark. Fourth place is Chuck Bannon. Moving back to fifth place, it's Matt Blue. What's the deal on the color scheme of this 26 and 24 bike, Eric?
Yeah, these guys are teammates, and it's RSD Racing as we watch Chuck Bannon go way wide left there, and it looked like he gave Matt Blue the shot up the inside, and I think, I can't see here right now, but it looks like Matt's in third. But RSD Racing out of Ann Arbor in the Detroit area, great racers, a whole group of them. Started a couple years ago, so they've been around for a while. Matt
Blue starting to work now on his teammate, Rich Clark, with Chuck Bannon. It only takes a little bit of a miscalculated cornering entry to really cost you quite large, and that's what happened. Here's a good shot again of Caligari running away. Boy, look at the gap he's got on the rest of the field.
Yeah, once you get some clear traffic in front of you, you can make a go at it, but it looks like Rich Clark's taking over second, and here's Matt Blue working his way up on James Depwig. So something might be happening wrong here with number 20, James Depwig, because he's been putting in fast laps lately.
Chuck Bannon on the 402 bike, the only Kawasaki running up in the top 5. Let's talk just a moment about how this is sorting out. The 600 Supersport Series, sponsored by Pirelli, we've said time and time again, it's a rider's class. These guys are on, for the most part, production bikes with very limited modifications, and they're all on the same tires. How do you explain Caligari running away as he has?
All in rider talent, actually. None of these bikes can have over 101 rear wheel horsepower. We have a dyno jet dyno here on site just to make sure that nobody does. The actual winners, the top 3 of this class, have to go run their bikes on the dyno so we can make sure that they don't actually have more horsepower than anybody else. But it's rider talent, suspension setup, and putting about 15 things together, which adds up to a nice lap time.
Steve Shorner on the 154 bike. Good shot of him going around the corner 1-2 transition. Here he is again on the 154 bike. These guys really laying it over through the off-camber corner number 3. Of course, Grattan Raceway is a very technical track, kind of an undulating track with a lot of corners, off-camber corners, blind corners, and this very long 3,000-foot straightaway as we watch everybody getting sorted out. Looks like somebody's got a little bit of trouble there. I think that's JD.
Yep, James Depwig, he's off the track, slowing down. He'll be exiting here. Looks like he had some type of mechanical problem. Not sure what it is. But that's also Tony Militello in number 48, trying to put the moves on Steve.
As we come through corner number 3 now, this off-camber corner, these guys are heeled over onto their left side, but in fact, the angle of the pavement, the contact patch of these Pirelli tires gets mighty small through that section. Right now, I'll tell you, Nick Caligari is running so far out in front, our camera crew's having a hard time keeping up with this guy. Very, very fast rider. Bike number 00, he's a Cincinnati firefighter.
Yeah, we told him if he makes a breakaway like that, we're not going to put him on TV. So Here we go back to Rich Clark, also very smooth rider on a Suzuki. Nice to see one of those bikes back up in the front here. And his teammate, of course, Matt Blue.
Bike number 402, Chuck Bannon, still holding on. Now, as we watch this thing get sorted out, the confidence level of these amateurs to run in very close with one another is evidenced at various points on the track. We've seen Chuck Bannon, now he slips around Matt Blue, and now he storms off after bike number 26, Rich Clark. Clark takes a little look over his shoulder as they go through corner number 8. Very soon they're going to be into the braking zone of corner number 9, and back and forth. I'll tell you, Matt Blue's not going to give up.
No, Matt Blue put a move on Chuck right there, also lost the rear end coming out of that turn, so he's riding hard. Hopefully he can hold it all together, but here we are. Chuck's back in the lead here, lead or fourth position, whatever this might be. He's coming into turn 1.
As the season winds down, you know, these guys have been putting together stellar weekends as Chuck Bannon goes way outside, just about put himself in the grass, but that drive generated enough speed to get by Rich Clark. Now Rich Clark goes back a spot. Matt Blue right on it.
Oh boy, this is fantastic racing that we're seeing here. These guys are riding really, really hard. Fun to see. It's just amazing to see how these guys put together lap after lap.
We're watching the battle now for second place as GLRRA99 has gone and left the rest of the crew. Here's another shot of Schorner coming up the king. No, take that back. That was the number 84 bike as Bannon at speed coming up on a slower rider. The white flag is out. 1 lap left to go. GLRRA99's already gone, but this is a battle for second, Eric.
Yeah, we've lost Matt Blue out of this equation. We're not sure what's happening, but we're going to watch Chuck Bannon here and Rich Clark fight it out for second place.
Going into corner number 1, it's all about Chuck Bannon. The Kawasaki is rocking today, going that wide line through corner number 1, but it seems as though Chuck Bannon now puts a lapped rider between himself and Rich Clark. Bannon storming off to the checkered flag.
Yeah, let's see if he can. I haven't even had a chance to see where Nick GLRRA99 is, but it's great seeing Chuck up there. He's worked his way up all year long. These guys are comfortable racing against each other. They trust each other out there.
Here's a good shot of Nick GLRRA99 making the final series of corners onto the front straightaway. He's going to have this one handily. There's the checkered flag. Congratulations, Bike 00, Nick GLRRA99. We're going to go to an interview with Jeremiah Becker running second in overall points.
It's going really well. This season's been unique compared to the last few years with GLRRA. It always seems to be someone who runs away, and this year is myself and Nick GLRRA99 right now running for the lead in the amateur championship. I mean, John Troutman and Dave Didier. It's really nice to have 4 or 5 guys up there that we're all fighting pretty hard for the lead all the time. It's been a good, fun season, I think, and that's a lot of what GLRRA stands for, is good, safe, fun riding.
Possesses a passion inspired by the world's fastest falcon. And a history that could only come from Suzuki. Introducing the incredible GSX 1300R Hayabusa, the largest displacement sport bike Suzuki has ever built. It's proof you don't need wings to fly.
All I do is dream of you the whole night through. With the dawn I still go on and dream of you. You're every thought, you're everything, you're every song I ever sing.
For those who must design trucks to compete with Dodge Ram, there is no rest.
All I do is dream of you.
Hey, welcome back. That was Amateur 600 Supersport Racing, and that's hard to beat. Great ride by Nick GLRRA99 as usual. Congratulations to Chuck Bannon, Rich Clark. Fantastic racing. Not quite sure what happened to Rich's teammate, Matt Blue, out on the last couple laps there, but Rich held it together and got all 8 laps in. Coming up next will be Expert 600 Supersport action, so that's fantastic. We got Jamie Hanshaw, Larry Denning. It's been their show all year. They're going to keep it going. 600 Super Sport action coming up next.
Opening ceremonies have been completed. We'd like to thank our honor guard, Kevin Patmore, bike number 12, checking his onboard camera. Just about ready to get underway with our experts in the Pirelli-sponsored 600 Super Sport action. We've got a couple riders that are really lofting the front tires. It looked like Kevin Lehman just about lost control, and right away it gets sorted out. Who's that we've got up front?
Well, it's tied right now, but Kevin Lehman is moving into second place. Jamie Hanshaw up in the lead. That's been par for the course for this entire race season so far, and Jamie's got great starts, and there he goes through turn 3.
Good shot, Lehman on board. This is a helmet cam to give you perspective of what the rider's seeing. Boy, I really like that, Eric. That's a good shot, Kevin Lehman. Working very hard. Up front, we've got the number 1 bike of Jamie Hanshaw. This guy's been at the front of the pack all year long. Van Scoik in second. Now Denning moves up into third. It looks like it's bike number 86, Steve Steinman in fourth. And there is Eric Twigg, bike number 05, the only Honda running up in the top 8.
I think he might be the only Honda out there. I did see Matt Drucker from MD Racing, number 14, who's had a little bit of trouble sorting his bike out this year. He doesn't spend enough time on the track. He's busy with his new Triumph dealership and working on that. But great shot from Larry Denning here as he tries to outpower Scotty Van Scoik.
Down the front straightaway and into corner number 1. Look at how close this rider gets to the inside of that corner. Some very close action. Kalamazoo, Michigan brings us Steve Steinman, bike number 86, through the off camber, hanging on now in 4th place.
Yeah, both Steinman and Van Scoik have really upped the ante as this series has gone along. They've gotten used to the tires. These are actually brand new style of Pirelli tires that these guys are all riding this weekend, and the lap times have dropped correspondingly, so everything's just a little bit quicker here.
We talked about how the amateurs were very comfortable riding with one another in very, very close proximity. The experts have been around one another for a few years, and you're going to see some very, very close, exciting racing between these two guys. I'll get there.
Yeah, it doesn't get any closer than that as Van Scoik takes a peek behind him and almost looks right in. Whoa, Brian Gibson almost puts the front end of the corner first, but yeah, great racing on these guys' part.
Gibson on the number 3 bike. We should talk about Gibson. He's on a different bike. Gibson has kind of spread his riding duties. This guy's been on a different bike all year, and this year he's been riding, 3 different bikes. He's got a Suzuki, a 250 Honda, and now he's on the Yamaha.
Yeah, as we're back to Larry Denning here and watch him come over the back hill there. One thing you can't get with this view is the sensation how both wheels of that bike will come off the track coming over the top of the hill there. And here comes flying Brian Gibson as he's still sorting out his Yamaha a little bit, but he's fast on it.
Vega Racing Suzuki out of the Detroit area sponsor, Brian Gibson, and this guy's really got this thing a ways to go. The new Yamaha has really been the class of the class. Yamaha's new entry into the middleweight classes has been storming up to the top of the podium. Right now, this 2-year-old Suzuki seems to be running away from the entire field, but we've talked about the smoothness of the rider. Give a good nod to bike number 1, Jamie Hanshaw out front, but look at this. Larry Denning with that onboard camera is right on him.
Yeah, Jamie Hanshaw, as you can see, earlier in this year was going all the way up the inside of turn 9 there. Whoa, as he almost tucks the front
Hanshaw
end.
just about tucked that one away as Denning capitalized on that little bit of a problem there with Hanshaw. We're halfway, Eric.
Yes, we are, and Hanshaw and Denning, this is the story of the season. These guys are so fast at this track that just about anybody can't stand a chance of winning here against those 2 guys. Brian Gibson's going to try, though, as he looks up the inside of 2 riders.
He gets by Steinman, trying to work now on Van Scoik, getting set up for corner number 2, and Gibson pulls it off. Looks like he's coming to grips with his Yamaha, but Van Scoik out of Warsaw, Indiana, bike number 27, very close racing. Those guys almost touched.
Comes right back. Looks like they're all riding one Yamaha here as Steinman goes up the inside on Van Scoik here and tries to pinch him off into the grass right there.
Steinman makes the pass, makes it count, and now Steinman works his way up into 4th place. Gibson on the number 3 bike is starting to reel in the number 2 bike of Larry Denning, but he's got a huge task as Denning and Hanshaw pushing the envelope, making one another run very, very fast. Through the field they go. Bike number 1, Hanshaw, your leader, with Denning right behind by about 2 bike lengths. It looks like Denning is starting to work his program down this long 3,000-foot straightaway. That's where the power of these middleweight bikes really comes to play. Look at Gibson ringing the throttle, trying to stay free and clear of that battle right behind him between Van Scoik and Steinman.
Yeah, Van Scoik and Steinman fight so fiercely that it'll actually slow their lap times down because they're trying to run some defensive lines and worry about the guy behind him a little bit getting by, so they can't concentrate on looking ahead.
Coming up into 5th place now, we see Kevin Lehman out of Holland, Michigan on the Performance Motorsports entry. This guy's been running very strong all year.
Kevin Lehman does a great job tuning just about half of these bikes out here. Really, a lot of the bikes in the amateur class come out of his shop. And Performance Motorsports out of Holland, Michigan is an excellent place to get some horsepower, and he actually doesn't have time to work on his own bike, so sometimes he's not prepared when the weekend shows up.
Into corner number 1, rather, we watch as many of the bikes, the front and rear bias, that's how much pressure the rider puts onto the front wheel under tremendous braking off after that long straightaway. We watch Hanshaw, and you know, that bike's not really getting squirrely. He's really in a zone. He's very much in control. As Denning watching, we see a good shot at Denning with that onboard camera, and he's even sporting some of that high-speed racer tape.
Yeah, that's 200-mile-an-hour duct tape on the side of his helmet to hold the camera on. But ever since Jamie started moving out a little wider in turn number 9 here, it took away one of the best places that Larry had to pass. So they're equal the rest of the track, and it's going to be tough. Here we are, last lap.
Right now, white flag comes out. Hanshaw far and away besting the field. Look at the gap from Denning back to 3rd place. Brian Gibson. 4th place now is Van Scoik, as Steinman still pestering Scotty down the front straightaway. 600cc Yamaha action. It looks like Scotty's got it, but look at Steinman underneath Van Scoik. Steinman moves up into 3rd place, and Van Scoik really working hard, just about throws himself out of the saddle.
Couple close calls right there. Van Scoik knew he had to get him up the inside and really started ringing the throttle on at the middle of that turn, almost lost the rear end, and then Steinman did the same thing in turn 2. There's our leader right now, number 1.
In that battle for 3rd place, you can see what happened as a little bit of a miscue by Van Scoik gave Steinman an opportunity to ring out a bit of an advantage, and now Van Scoik having to battle back. Steinman goes wide, Van Scoik right on him, as Van Scoik leans on Steinman. We're just about onto the front straight. Here goes the checkered flag. My goodness, close racing in this expert 600cc middleweight class. Jamie Hanshaw, bike number 1, celebrating his victory. Very soon we're going to go to an interview with Mr. Hanshaw back in the paddock as soon as we break.
ACE stands for Automotive Cleaning Equipment. We offer a full line of parts washers, blast cabinets, and shop equipment, all made from the finest heavy-duty materials and put together using nothing but the finest American craftsmanship. If you demand high quality and top performance in your shop, choose ACE. Call the number on your screen, 1-888-772-3263. Call now.
Would you look at this? The Suzuki is off to a great start, and all of Daytona is on their feet as the GSXR screams to the tri-oval. The Suzukis are dicing the lead on the inside of turn 11. He wants a piece of it. He's got it. Oh, did you see that? Outstanding. The rest of the field might as well head home. The TL1000R is slicing for the SC. Oh, my. Suzuki's V-twin is developing incredible horsepower as it thunders up the hill away. Would you look at this? The Suzuki is off to a great start, and all of Daytona is on their feet as the
Pirelli-sponsored 750 Super Sport action just about set to go. There's a green flag. These are the experts. Boy, a big old monster wheelie by one of the guys in the back, and in the back it is Larry Denning. Eric Nocky up in the booth here with Dave Smith, and Eric, he must have started back in row number 5.
Yeah, Lightning Larry doesn't normally run the 750 Super Sport event, so we had to grid him based upon points, puts him way in the back. Now he's chasing Monty Nichols down here, having to peek up the inside into 2. Looks great.
Gives us a good opportunity to, from the rider's perspective, looks like Monty Nichols a little upset with one of the riders, gives him a point. We move up now to the battle for the lead. Hanshaw, as per usual, out of Dega Racing Camp, is running up front. But now Scotty Van Scoik running in second place. It looks like it's Brian Gibson on the number 3 bike on that Yamaha running in third.
Larry Denning in 4th place, working his way past a whole bunch of guys right in the first lap. It's a very important lap as we watch Brent Dudley. There's Matt Drucker, and somebody's got to go back and pick up that cone.
Indeed, somebody clipped the cone with an outstretched knee. That defines the lean angle for these riders, and that rider leaned a little bit much. Down the long straightaway, and Larry Denning starting out of the 5th row, giving an opportunity to see how hard this rider rides. He's getting a little bit loose as he gets into the braking zone, but having it all under control. Bike number 2 storming towards the front. Bike number 0, that is Greg Gibson. And Eric, let's talk a little bit about that number plate. That is a 0, but it looks like a number 1.
Yeah, that is. I think we, like we said before, Greg Gibson, Brian Gibson's brother, is a fantastic racer. Here's a nice shot of Monty Nichols on the MCC Ducati out of Chicago. But Greg Gibson really is one of the fastest riders ever to circulate this particular. Whoa! It's Kevin Lehman.
What is the deal on that bike, Eric? It looks like we've got one on fire.
Yeah, that was Kevin Lehman there. Maybe you don't want him to work on your bike. I'm not sure, but we had some unconfirmed reports about that.
Here's another view, and boy, look at that. It looks like an oil line let go. Just a plume of smoke as Lehman looks over the situation there in corner number 9.
We had a few unconfirmed reports that he was strapping a Sidewinder missile under his bike. He must have had a little problem.
Looks like he touched it off, and touching it off is this battle between bike number 1, Hanshaw, and bike 27, Van Scoik. It looks as if Hanshaw, not ruffled by the competition, again, very, very smooth as we go through corner number 9, up this little undulation onto the front straightaway. Denning now in 3rd, then it's Gibson in 4th as they rocket down the front straightaway. Hanshaw has this one figured.
This is great. We got a little battle going between Brian Gibson there on the number 3 bike, and then we've got flying Greg Gibson, flying Fred, he's known as once in a while, in 5th. So that'll be nice to see who winds up in front of each other.
Let's kind of refer to the bikes. In first place, you've got a GSXR 600 Suzuki. Again, this is a 750 class. In 2nd, 3rd, 4th place, these are all 600cc Yamahas. Now we move back into 5th place, the number 0 bike ridden by Craig Gibson. That's a 750 GSXR Suzuki. So these middleweight bikes with the horsepower limits, a little bit of work back in the pits, and in this 123 horsepower base class, these middleweight bikes really rock the house.
Yeah, they are the perfect combination for this type of a tight, twisty track. This track is only 2 miles long. If you were to see this race run over at, say, Elkhart Lake or Road America, that'd be a big difference there. That's where a lot of horsepower can come into play. But these bikes, cornering speed, braking ability, they're on par with just about anything around this track.
Van Scoik, bike number 27, getting a little bit carried away. We talk about the distance front to rear. We refer to that as a bike length between the 27 and the number 3 bike. But as you watch these riders go through corners, these riders are confident enough to have a bike width between the 2 riders. Van Scoik seems to get the best of Gibson coming through corner number 9, but Gibson is right on him as a good shot down the long front straightaway. Greg Gibson on the number 0 bike, the 750, has got to be a little bit put out. He doesn't seem to be able to reel these guys in.
Yeah, Greg's out, also a smart rider. He's going to know that if he doesn't quite have the bike set up or new enough tire to hang with the leaders, he's not going to go put himself at risk over all of this, but certainly a talented rider. He'll be up there.
Bike number 0, Greg Gibson, has just recently opened a Suzuki dealership in the Grand Haven, Holland area along the lakeshore of Michigan. And Greg Gibson getting back into racing, as you referenced, Eric, a few years ago. This was the king of Grattan, bike number 0, Greg Gibson. Watch this guy as he smoothly pilots this 750 GSXR Suzuki around the track. Another bike a little further back into 6th place, Bike number 66, that's Monty Nichols. He's on a Ducati. He's sponsored by MCC Ducati. And Eric, we're on our final lap.
Yeah, great race here. We also have Aaron Reisinger in the back there. He's riding with an injury that he suffered at the last round of his ankle, so he's off the pace a little bit. And it looks like Steve Steinman had some tire problems. But here's Brian Gibson through turn 1.
A look of intensity on the face of Brian Gibson, knowing he's got one lap left to go and knowing Van Scoik is just about rabid to get by him. Bike number 27, Scotty Van Scoik back into 4th place. Is he going to have enough time? I don't know. Good shot of the Dega Racing Suzuki out of Ann Arbor, Michigan, through corner number 7, now into corner number 8. It looks like Gibson's got it. Here's a good shot of your race leader through corner number 9 on to 10. And Eric, it looks like Jamie Hanshaw, bike number 1, cards another victory.
2 wins for him today. Great job.
The first race of the day is middleweight super sport. I'm leading that class by 2 points right now, and going into the final round, which is in a few weeks, I just wanted to make sure that I got that win. So now I'm up by 6 points, and I just wanted to make sure that I locked that one in there, so I had a little bit of a cushion going into the last round. So it was important for me today.
All went fine. Second place in middleweight super sport and heavyweight super sport. They're good races. Chased Jamie around. The second race, I started from the 5th row, worked my way through. I couldn't really do anything to get in front of him today, so I was just happy to get second.
Hey, that's it. Round number 7's in the books. Coming up next week, round number 8, that's our finals. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Pirelli, Dodge, Triton Trailers, Vesra, Technique, Ace Automotive Cleaning Equipment, all great companies, and you should check them out if you need anything like that. Again, the finals coming up, round number 8, 1 week from today, right here, Grattan Raceway Park. We'll see you then.
I felt I did pretty good. You know, everyone got away a little early from me, but I got to get up Monday morning and take care of my business. So I ran up front. I'd just like to thank Pirelli for putting a good tire underneath me, and Fast Tech Motorsports for building some good bikes.
Great.
It was going pretty good. We got started, got a real good start. I was up in 3rd, felt strong. As the race started going on, we was getting pushed by Scotty. He kind of stuck his nose in there a couple times. We got a little squirrely. Actually, our times on the board showed that we were slowing down once we get together, and that's happened in the past a little bit too. So as we was battling it out, Gibson come up behind us and stuffed us both going into one and got around us. So then it was just up to me and Scotty, just going back and forth at it.